Hey there, everybody. I am Leslie Nunnery with Teach Them Diligently, and I am here today to welcome Jan Bedell into our Museum of the Bible Speaker Spotlight. When you are on site, make sure you check out the Museum of the Bible and all that they have to offer. And in the meantime, look them up online. It's amazing what they're working on and what they're doing and how you can get involved. But for now, welcome with me, Jan Bedell from Little Giant Steps. Welcome, Jan.
Hi, Leslie. It's great to be with you.
Good. Well, Jan, can you tell me just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what's your field of study, just a little bit so that people will know who you are?
All right, I'd be glad to share that. I'm a neurodevelopmentalist, and that's someone that works with how the brain works and how to make it work better. So when you're homeschooling, you will be doing some things to help your brain work better, which will help all of your subjects go better. So that's kind of what I'm going to be sharing when I'm there with you guys in Atlanta.
Oh, that is fascinating. Well, just as a little hint of what we can expect, what are some of the practical ways that as we are homeschooling, we kind of interact with what you do, with helping our brains and our children's brains work better with each of these different fields of study?
Well, there's a lot to our brain, obviously. It's the only container that the more you put into it, the more it can hold. So it's a fascinating study. So what I'll be sharing is how to look at maybe those bright children that it's just not going as well as you think that it should, or seem to be struggling a little bit. So those kinds of things can be figured out by finding where the root is, just like dyslexia and ADD and those kind of things. Those are just symptomatic labels, and if you have a certain number of symptoms, they often call you that, but all of those symptoms are caused by something in the brain.
So you can actually help families get to the root of what is causing the symptoms that may or may not be diagnosed in their child.
Yes, and they may not even know why things are kind of slowed down or causing issues. We, as a culture, are really doing some of those things. Just like we've gone to a very visual society instead of a auditory society, the ramifications of that are tremendous. And at our booth at both Atlanta and Sandusky, we'll be sharing with people how to test for that auditory short-term memory and how to do something about it. So we'll equip them right there at the convention.
Oh, that is fascinating. That is just really cool. There's so many things that you're saying that I'm holding myself back from asking follow-up questions because I want to let you have your talks that Teach Them Diligently. Everybody needs to go, though, so that you can ask your own follow-up questions. Well, let me ask you this, Jan. What is your personal experience with homeschool, and how did you get into this field of study, and what really prompted you to get interested in this?
Well, Leslie, when I was in high school, I wanted to just be a wife and mother. My parents said, well, when you get out of high school, you go to college. You know, that's what you do. And I'm the firstborn, so I'm setting the example. So I thought, well, I'll go and major in home economics education and child development because that's what I wanted to do, is be a wife and mother. And I got a kindergarten endorsement just in case I needed to work. Well, you know how we make our plans and God directs our steps. I actually had a child that had some learning challenges, and I had to search out things to help her. You know, I was not going to give up, and I had homeschooled for 5 years, gotten some progress. She had been to public school and private school too. We tried everything, and so after she was about 15, and I didn't know what else to do for her. You know, I was a certified teacher, but still, I wasn't able to make a lot of progress. God in His providence brought me to the neurodevelopmental approach, and it changed her life. It made her function so much better. It was just amazing, the difference in her. And God said, well, take a left right here because I want you to tell other people about it. So that's what I've been doing for the last 22 years.
Wow. Well, it is always amazing how God puts in our hands the exact thing that He wants to use. And He equips us for exactly how He calls us. And that's really exciting. It really is. Well, David and I are very, very excited that you are offering to our families something very, very special, very unique. And so I was hoping that you would explain exactly what these neurodevelopmental screenings are and what people can expect, and kind of how to sign up and that kind of thing. Can you just give us the Reader's Digest version of what they are?
Okay, that sounds great. I'm really excited about being able to offer this at the Teach Them Diligently conferences, because what we can do is, in a short amount of time, take a look at some key areas of development, like lower level brain organization, some short-term memory kind of things, auditory, and we look at dominance and things that would affect a child's ability to retain information, bring it back out. You know, some people may ask, why is it taking so long for my child to do these things? Or why does he know it one day and not the next? So we've got some answers for that kind of thing when we do these assessments. Some people even wonder if their children are being rebellious because they're not following directions. Well, it could be a whole another thing that's causing that, a neurodevelopmental aspect of their development that just didn't take place but can be improved. So what we'll do is look at each child individually, and then we get everybody together, and then we tell the parents what the results are, what kind of ramifications it has in their day-to-day schooling, and how to make learning life easier for everybody.
Wow. So will they get these results right there during the screening, or is there a waiting period for those?
Well, what happens is we see all the kids individually, then we get everybody together in one seminar at the end of the day, about 3 o'clock. And then what happens is we describe and tell you what the results mean. And you'll have your individual results right there. And also some things that can be done to help all of those areas.
Wow, well, that is awesome. So these will be offered in Atlanta and Sandusky on Thursday mid-morning to early afternoon. Is that right?
Yes, well, actually, we'll start pretty early in the morning, depending on how many we're going to be doing. So it's kind of first come, first serve as far as the time to work with each of the families and their schedule.
Fantastic. Well, I know that there is a page on our website that will link to your website where they can sign up and learn more, and I will include that page right below this this interview on our blog. But then I also, Jan and I had talked, and I'm very excited to be able to tell you that we will be able to give away a few of these. So if you'll look below this video, you will see a widget where you can enter to actually win your own assessment for your child. So Jan was very, very gracious in doing that. So I hope that you will very, very overwhelmingly thank her, but definitely check out what she has to offer. So Jan, is there anything else that our families would need to know before they sign up, or any other questions that you get a lot that you should probably address here to help people understand?
I'm glad you brought that up, because the developmental screenings that we do here are not for everybody, because there's an age aspect that needs to be taken into consideration. So 6 years old and up are the ones that we're going to be screening, and these are typical kids, gifted kids that you just want to make sure their brain is working on the superhighways, like high-speed internet instead of dial-up, because even though they have a bright intelligence, it really matters how your brain is wired. And believe it or not, it can be wired for better performance. So, of course, the ones that are struggling too, anyone that has a label or suspected of ADD or dyslexia, something like that, those would be great candidates as well. Now, if you have some more severe issues, if you've got some autism spectrum type issues, we have assistance for that. It's just not through this particular screening event.
Gotcha.
So anybody that has a syndrome or those kind of things, the neurodevelopmental approach is amazing as far as its help in those areas. But the screening is not the specific way to get that kind of help.
Gotcha. But they could talk to you at the booth to learn more about how you could serve their families through what you do, just not with those screenings.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, that is fantastic. Well, Jan, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, I hope that you will take the time to get to know Jan. Jan is somebody I can always count on to come up and give me a hug just when I need it, particularly on Thursdays as we're running around like crazy. So that is one of the things that means the most to me. But thank you again for joining us, and we will see you at Teach Them Diligently.
It's great to see you. See you soon.
Thanks. Bye-bye.